everybody, this is Ogreboy, and I'm going to be ranking the top 11 Spider-Man movie villains. I'm going to leave out Rhino from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the two Shocker characters from Homecoming, since they're more side characters that don't really have that much to do with the movies and everything. Rhino was just kind of being made, was just in there to be setting up the sequel that never happened, and the two Shockers didn't really have too much to do with the story. So I'm leaving those out and everything, and just going to focus mainly on villains that are like really main villains for the movies and everything. So starting off at number 11 is Green Goblin from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was shoehorned in. He really, they should have taken their time with Harry on turning him into a goblin and everything. They should have waited till the next movie if they would have made it and everything. I think that having him in there just wasn't very good. Plus, Dane DeHaan I thought was absolutely terrible as Harry Osborn, and even worse is when he became the Green Goblin. I also think that having him in this movie and everything, they showed him in TV spots and trailers and stuff, and as soon as they showed him in those, I knew what was going to happen at the end of the movie. I knew Gwen Stacy was going to be killed, because Green Goblin kills her in the comics, and I don't know how I knew, but I knew for sure that was what was going to happen. So, Green Goblin from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is number 11. And number 10 is Lizard, played by Rhys Ifans, and everything. He's in the 2012 movie The Amazing Spider-Man. They're the first reboot, and I think Rhys Ifans, or however you say his name, I think he's a good actor and everything. I've liked him in other stuff like Little Nicky and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and everything. So when I heard that he was playing this character, I thought, maybe it'll work, maybe it'll be good or whatever. I was trying to be optimistic and stuff, because I wasn't really happy about this reboot and everything, and I ended up hating it. I think that he was okay as the Lizard, but I really hated the way the Lizard looked. The CGI on it is absolutely terrible, and it has aged really bad and everything in the last, not even 8 years yet, but it's just, the CGI is absolutely terrible and everything. Like I said, I think his performance is okay, but it's not really that great. So, Lizard is number 10, and number 9 is Venom from Spider-Man 3, played by Topher Grace. He almost made it to the bottom. If it weren't for how much I hate the Green Goblin and how much I don't really care for the Lizard, he would have made it to number 11. But he was just shoehorned in. Topher Grace was terrible as a character. He wasn't really threatening. He didn't seem scary or anything. They kind of made him overpowered, because he didn't seem to be as threatening and stuff as they tried to make him be and everything. And I think Topher Grace gave a pretty bad performance. I think that he was an idiot for leaving that 70s show just to do this movie. He left the best character in his career to go off and run one of the greatest comic book characters of all time and everything. I love Venom as a character, but he was not done justice in this movie, and I know a large part of that has to do with the fact that Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in this movie. The studio really interfered, so. But But that being said, it doesn't excuse for why Venom sucks so much in this movie. So he's number 9, and number 8 is the New Goblin, played by James Franco in Spider-Man 3. I almost put him at the very bottom as well. I really considered it because even though he is a villain, I almost didn't even include him on this list, but I went ahead because even though he's technically not fully a villain because he comes to help Peter at the end of the movie and everything, I gotta say, I do like him, and I understand his motivations for why he wants to go after Spider-Man and stuff like that, but I think James Franco does a really good job playing him in this movie and everything. I love the scene when him and Peter are fighting at his house and everything, and I thought that was just a really great scene and everything, but I don't really think he's a great villain because, like I said, he's not really that much of a villain. He is a little bit, but Peter doesn't really want to be enemies with him except for when he's wearing the black suit and everything. So New Goblin is number 8, and number 7 is Electro, played by Jimmy Fox in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I actually really liked him in this movie. That he was one of the things that I did really like about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was weird and nerdy and quirky and everything, but Jimmy Fox really shows off his comedic talents and stuff that he was known for in the earlier part of his career. And I think it was a very good movie, very good character. I'm not too crazy for the way they handled him after he finally becomes Electro and stuff, because even though he's threatening, he doesn't feel like he's as big of a threat as they're trying to make him be, kind of like they did with Venom in Spider-Man 3. But I thought that he did a good job for the most part, and nothing that I had a problem with on Electro had to do with Jimmy Fox, because I thought he was great as a character and everything. So Electro is number 7, and number 6 is Kingpin from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He's voiced by Liev Schreiber. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. But I thought he did a good job voicing him. I think that Kingpin was a pretty good villain in this movie. I like how they made him sympathetic and stuff, even though you still kind of hate him. You can understand why he is the way he is, although I think it's kind of stupid that he blames Spider-Man for his wife's death and stuff, because the reason they even left and everything is because of his actions and everything. But I still think he was a good villain and everything, and I think Liev Schreiber, or Scriber, however you say his name, did a really good job voicing him and everything. So Kingpin is number 6, and number 5 is Sandman from Spider-Man 3. I think that personally they should have just either had him as just the villain of Spider-Man 3, or him and the New Goblin and everything. If they would have left Venom out, I think the movie would have been a lot better and everything. I thought Sandman was really well done and everything. I like how they tied his story to Peter Parker's and made it where he was actually Uncle Ben's killer. I don't think he is in the comics, from what I remember. I've read some of the comics, and if I remember right, he didn't actually kill Uncle Ben. But I think he was good in the movie, and Thomas Hayden Church did a really great job playing him. He's another one of those actors that I feel like every movie he's in just makes the movie a little bit better and everything. I think he's just one of those actors that has that great presence and everything. And I thought they did a good job making him sympathetic and everything. And I love how his story ends at the end of it when he apologizes to Peter and everything, which is something I think he should have done before. I think he should have tried to explain everything before the big fight started, and maybe he would have been able to team up with Harry and Peter to fight Venom, but it doesn't really make sense why they do things like they did in the end of that movie, so I'm not gonna keep on fussing about it, because a lot of people have said the problems that are with this movie, and I've talked about it enough, so but Sandman is number 5, and number 4 is the newest one, Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit eerie about this movie because I didn't think that Jake Gyllenhaal was gonna fit Mysterio. I don't know why and everything, but the trailers didn't sell me on it and everything. But then when I actually watched the movie, I thought he was absolutely great as Mysterio and everything, and he fit the role very well and everything. I thought he was a really intimidating villain, and I really liked him. I liked how his backstory ties in with other characters from the MCU and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool, and I think he was just a good villain. I don't think he was quite as good as the next one on this list, but from another MCU movie, but I do think he was great. So Mysterio is number 4, and number 3 is Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. I just really love Michael Keaton in this role. I thought he did a really great job. And when I very first saw Far From Home, I was really debating which one out of the two villains I liked more. And the more I think about it, I think I like Michael Keaton as Vulture better and everything. I just love how they, once again, he's sympathetic and his motivations are understandable, although I think he goes about the wrong way of doing things. But it's understandable why he does what he does in this movie and everything, and I thought that was cool. They made him relatable and stuff and everything. I was really disappointed that we didn't get to see him in Far From Home, because he was supposed to have an appearance in it and everything, but hopefully maybe we'll see him again in either the third movie or something later down the line. I hope we do and everything. But Vulture is number 3, and number 2 is Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. He's played by Alfred Molina and everything. I love Doc Ock. I think he was a very great villain. And another reason why he's not number 2 is because he kind of redeems himself at the end of the movie, where he's not a full-fledged villain to me and everything. He was under the control of the tentacle things that are on his back and everything. But I do really like this movie. I think it's got a great cast. You know, I think that Alfred Molina played the character very, very well and everything. I think he fit the role very well. You know, I've always kind of thought he was an underrated actor and everything. I thought he did a really great job playing him. So Doc Ock is number 2. And before I do my number 1, I'd like to give a honorable mention, and the reason he's not on this list is because he's not just a Spider-Man villain, and that's Thanos from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. The reason I'm giving him an honorable mention is because even though he did fight Spider-Man in Infinity War, and I think he fought him some in Endgame. Well, I mean, pretty much fought him in Endgame, because that whole big battle was between everybody and Thanos and Thanos' army. So I'm giving him an honorable mention, because even though he's not a main Spider-Man villain, he's still a really good Marvel villain that I think should be counted for all of the Marvel heroes on villains and stuff and everything. So Thanos is my honorable mention, and my number one favorite Spider-Man villain is the Green Goblin, played by William Dafoe in the first Spider-Man movie. I really love William Dafoe's crazy performance in this. He's over the top, but he steals every scene he's in. He does such a really great job as a character and everything. My only really big complaint about it is I don't really like the costume for Green Goblin and the mask and everything. I think they could have done things better on that and everything. But besides that, I don't got anything else I can say that I hated about that and everything. I thought William Dafoe was great as the character and everything, but I do think he was a lot creepier without the mask and everything. Like in the scenes when he's just having a conversation with himself, or it's like the Green Goblin talking to Norman, and they're having a conversation, and he's looking in the mirror and all that. It's really creepy and stuff as a character. But so Spider-Man, that's my top 11 favorite Spider-Man movie villains. I hope you enjoyed this video and everything. I'm sorry I didn't put the Shockers or Rhino on here, but like I said, they weren't as important as villains and stuff, so that's why I left them off. Although I do think that the Shockers part was kind of cool because we got to see Ned help Peter out with his web stuff, but it wasn't really enough to really need to be on this list and everything. So that's my top 11 favorite Spider-Man villains. Let me know in the comments either how you would rank the Spider-Man villains or who your favorite Spider-Man movie villains are. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.